Hello and welcome. My name is Rob, and today I'm gonna talk about Dark Souls
Ashen one,
3,
hearest
which
thou my voice still?
was an amazing game. A really amazing game. Did a lot of things right, and it shows. A lot of people liked it, a lot of people bought it. So yeah, I myself have played a good amount of Dark Souls genre games. Like for example, I played the Neo games, I played Mortal Shell, played of course through all the Dark Souls games, Bloodborne, Sekiro, and so on. I really liked the genre, it really got me. And yeah, so let's talk about the story of the game. The story of the game is rather easy to understand. I think that they did a really good job with that.
Be unkindled
Certainly
that
easier than
those
it was
souls
in
remain.
Dark Souls 1.
Sovereignless souls will become thy
You get
strength.
some cutscenes, you get some explanations, at least you get some good explanations so you know at least what basically is happening. And I think
Tis
they did a
dark
good
for
job on
now,
that because this is one
and
that
not
kind of
so
game that
stern.
you don't have
But
to get
remember,
lost into the lore
fires are
to
known to
enjoy.
fade in quiet.
Like for example Mass Effect. If you don't like the story of Mass Effect, you don't like the NPCs or whatever, you won't like the game. It's simple as that. Whereas Dark Souls, if you don't like the story, it doesn't matter because this is a gameplay focused game. Like one where gameplay comes
And so
first
it
and story
is
second. And I think that's
that
really
Ash
important to have something
seeketh
like that because
embers.
it's about playing a game uh, and, and not about just enjoying the story. You can enjoy the story more than the gameplay itself, of course, but yeah. So, and with that, the endings of the game are great too. I really like them. Like how you get different ones to choose from and even unlock some. Like for example, the uh, Age of Darkness, I believe it's called, ending. You have to unlock it through a series of tasks that you have to do, and you can easily miss out on them. Like you have to marry Henri, I believe her name was, and get corrupted, and yeah, and help Henri get through the world. You even have to protect her once from an assassin. And yeah, they really did a great job on that because it certainly changes things up a bit. You are not just walking through and then selecting from, I don't know, three different endings. You actually have to work for it and you get rewarded not only at the end with a different cutscene and so on, but also you get a different merchant, I believe it was, that sells you the dark hand, or you get the dark hand as a reward along the way, something like that. Yeah, that's really cool. They did a great job on that. And the NPCs were great too, of course. Like you get some unforgettable ones. Like for example, the blacksmith is back again. patches is in the game, and all Dark Souls players will instantly recognize them and be happy to see them again. I mean, who didn't like Andre, the smith? Or you even get new, amazing new NPCs, like for example Andre, or the head, the uh, what's she called? The the maiden. Yeah, I can't remember her name right now. But yeah, they really did a good job with that. And as you can see, I certainly do not remember all the names from the NPCs, but I know exactly who they are, how the story went. Like for example, the maid that levels up, that levels you up. You can find, she's blind, and you can find eyes for her, give it to her, and it's just her own little storyline, and it's just, I really liked it. So yeah, and the hub world, there is a hub world again, like in every Dark Souls, but it's more tending in the direction of Demon Souls, where you have this separate world where you can teleport from. But it's a it's a mix of Dark Souls 1 and Demon Souls, because you do have the hub world where you teleport to different places in the world, but all the places in the world are connected with each other. Like you do not have to set foot again into the hub world to get from the beginning to any area in the game. And I think that's amazing. That's really great, and I really liked it. Like the like the shortcuts that you open, like the connectivity, the connectivity of the areas with each other. It's just amazing. It's just great. They really did a good job on that. Which, yes, some other games, like for example Dark Souls 2, were rather lacking or didn't really do that good, that great. But that's another video. So yeah, hub world, and you can even explore the hub world. There are some hidden things, like you can buy a key to get into the tower, and from the tower there is a lift, I think, and you can find the golden serpent ring. And if you know how to abuse a little bit the tree, you know which one I mean, if you know the trick, you can even get the serpent ring from the first minute you set foot in the hub, and play through the game with a 20% increased soul drop rate. So there are a lot of little tricks and things to find in there, and that's great. It's really amazing. Really liked it. Did a great job. So yeah, the world on its own is amazing too, of course. I mean, the areas are just, you can see in what area you are. You don't confuse like the area. When I tell someone, hey, the the settlement with the witches at the beginning, everyone knows what area I mean. And by the way, I really liked that area because it felt kinda Bloodborne-y, and Bloodborne is my favorite Souls game. And or for example, you have the hub world, but in dark, like when the fire, like a version of it where the fire doesn't burn anymore. And that's just amazing. You really like to explore that area. And it's really different. Like it's not the same thing. And to have this uniqueness about an area, to have this diversity in the areas where you are, that's a hard thing to achieve. And they really did a great job on that. And you can see the diversity even more so in the DLCs later on. Like for example the snow area. It's just fun to explore. That brings new challenges like snow that breaks under your feet and you just fall down and now you're somehow in some new area that you can't get up back up where you fall down from, and there are like enemies ambushing you and so on. It's just fun. Or the the cathedral later on with all the monks and the skeletons and zombies and stuff like that. It really is unique. It really is different, and you can feel it and you can see it. Of course, they also played a bit on nostalgia. Like for example, you get Arno Londo again. Like you get Arno Londo from a different angle. Like you don't come in the same way you did back then, but you do recognize a lot of stuff. Like for example, from the architecture and from the enemies too. There's for example the two silver knights that shoot at you with with the great bow. There's that part too, again, but not exactly like in the same manner, but similar. And it really plays a little bit on your nostalgia, and I really enjoyed it. And for those that don't know Dark Souls 1, it's still fun too because it's a challenging part of the game, and one that you certainly will not will not forget about if you die a few times to it. And yeah, they really did a great job on that too. And of course, in each area there is a boss or two, maybe a secret one, and they were all amazing. Sure, there were some bosses that were rather lackluster. They were like, alright, you are just a obstacle, nothing more. Like for example, the first one, the Knight of the Boreal Valley. I can't remember his name, but the one with the frozen, with his frozen maze. This charges around is, I believe, the first real boss after Gundia, of course. Gundia is the tutorial boss. Like you, yeah, it's a boss. It's in the game, and it's okay because let's be honest, if they made that boss hard, like people would just quit the game and refund it. I mean, Gundia on its own is not that easy because, okay, sure, phase 1 is easy because it's simple, it's not that difficult to dodge or understand his attack pattern. But the moment he transforms into this beast thing, it really gets hard. Like, you have to know what to dodge, when to dodge. You're really put you're really pinned a bit down. But it's still made very easy. So you can actually beat him, of course, with just an a club, like if you take the deprived class. And you can even help yourself, like if you have fire bombs, which you can find before the boss. The boss is really not that hard. I think those darkness beasts have a weakness for fire, so you can abuse that or abuse. You can use that to your advantage. Yeah, but like I said, so the basically the first boss is the Boreal Valley Night guy, and yeah, for example, he's forgettable. But then again, you have in the same area a few meters the other way one of the greatest bosses in the game, like the dancer. What I mean is the dancer, which you can fight as the first real boss in the game. You don't have to fight against the Boreal Valley Night guy. You can actually just go after Gunja to the dancer. What you have to do is attack the old woman in the chair, and if you strike her down, the dancer will spawn, and you can fight the dancer. And with that, you can skip like I don't know half the game if you feel like it. But of course, no sane person will do that at their first playthrough because yeah, you don't stand a chance, or you really will fight your teeth out on the next enemies. You will struggle. So another amazing boss is of course Slave Knight Gale. It's an incredible boss. It really was fun fighting him. I really like my I really prefer the humanoid bosses. The single one, let's say one of the most liked monster bosses that I encountered in any Souls game was Media. Like he was incredible to fight with. It was just like what the hell is going on? I was so half the time I was confused, half the time I was scared and panicking. Like it was a really crazy, amazing fight. How much stuff was blowing up and flying around, and he jumping and clawing at you. It was amazing. It really was. I think for me personally, it was the most fun fight in all of the Dark Souls games, and even Elden Ring to this date, because it was just like that crazy to fight him. And the funny part is an optional boss. It's not even a main boss. Like you can skip him. You can, yeah, just ignore him and still progress. It's great. So yeah, another amazing boss fight was of course the Nameless King, which everyone will remember, and I can tell you why he was so hard. That's the funny part, because the boss on his own isn't that hard, but what he does differently than any other boss in the game is he has different attack patterns, like uh, when he swings at you, he pauses for a bit, for like that half second or something, and you dodge out of reflex because you know when he swings the hit comes, but and you dodge then. But what he does is he swings, waits like a half second, then he strikes at you. Like he doesn't do it on instantly, and that confuses you. And he has different pauses when attacking, and that just is hard to adjust to because it's not normal. It's something, yeah. It's like when you do PvP and you run from a player and you dodge, and the player doesn't strike you, he just runs after you. What do you do? Well, you dodge again and again and again because you have to dodge the strike, but the strike isn't coming, so yeah, it's crazy. It's a really fun boss to fight too again. Like a lot of bosses. Like for example, the Abyss Watchers is another great one. I think Dark Souls 3 had some of the most fun and most difficult bosses in all the Dark Souls games, which isn't that hard to understand, like not understand, but that hard to accept because let's face it, Dark Souls 3 is the third game in the series after two games. Well, Demon's Souls was there too, so three games and Bloodborne. Like they have so much experience doing bosses, doing their patterns, their styles, their techniques, and so on. The team from Soviet has so much experience. Of course, if they get the time, resources, they will make an incredible game with that. They will be able to create something incredible, and they did with Dark Souls 3. And that's why I say that alone from the experience they gathered from all the other games, it's of course not that hard to accept that they had so many crazy fun and strong bosses in this game, and that these are some of the best they ever did. Like I don't know, even the even the fight against the giant was fun. And I mean that's a gimmick fight. You have in every Dark Souls one gimmick fight. Like wait, let me think. You had yeah, you had the giant in 3. Yeah, whatever. You have one gimmick fight, I believe. In nearly each game you have one gimmick fight where you don't actually fight the boss but do something. Like for example, you have to run past the giant lord, grab the Stormcaller, I think it's called. It's a great sword. Near his throne, equipped it mid-fight, and then attack him with the weapon art. And that's how it's thought for you to beat him. Of course, you don't have to do that because there are people that can beat him with a normal weapon or with no weapon at all, for that matter. But yeah, so bosses were amazing. There were a lot of fun ones. Of course, I miss maybe some good ones, like the end boss. End boss was fun too. It was basically you. It was basically like they took like an NPC, like a player, and just transformed him into a boss. And I think that was acceptable because let's face it, it's the last boss of the game and you have to feel like it's a challenge. And they did a great job on that too. And yeah, they added the blue flask, which restores your mana, like your what is it called? It's called something different. I think your skill, no, not skill points. Whatever. Let's call it mana. It's blue. It's a blue bar that you use to use skills and spells that you cast skills and spells with, and that's an incredible, a really good idea because let's be honest, what you had before was kinda, yeah, it was kinda strange, kinda sucky. Before you had like in Dark Souls 1 and 2, you had limited uses for the spell, like you equipped the lightning spear and you could use it like 8 times. You can, I think with the attunement, that I think it was, uh, it didn't only increase your slots, your spell slots, but also I think the spell casts. And yeah, sure, it works and it's fine, I guess, because it did 2 games with that, and yeah, it worked. Like the spells that don't do that much damage, the smaller ones, yeah, you had like more cards with them, so it was fine. And you could even uh, add more to them by just equipping the same spell a second time. And yeah, it worked, but I think with the mana bar, with the skill bar, everyone is happier with that solution, and you can see it even in Elden Ring. They kept that system in Elden Ring, so I think most people liked it, and they thought they think that's a good idea too, and yeah, I think so too. And yeah, sure, you have, while we're talking about it, you have weapon arts. Like that's the first time they added that to the game. You certainly did have some kind of variation of weapon arts beforehand, like with the Dragon Fists in Dark Souls 2. Um, you could, if you pressed, you had to know what you do with your combo. Like when in the combo you use which attack, like light, heavy, or uh, I can't remember what the third one was. I think it was L2. And based on that, you get a different attack from it. And sure, it worked and it was fine, but I think they did a great job with adding weapon mods because suddenly you have like these special skills, like you don't attack with the same strike, like light and heavy all the time. You suddenly have a new attack, one that can be crazy, like, I don't know, a counter with the katana, a parry with the katana, and you can duel with the katana and still parry if you feel like it. It's great. Yeah, it certainly is a great idea, and I really liked it. And they even expanded it on Elden Ring. And yeah, the weapons on their own were fun too. There were, of course, you always have your standard ones like the claymore. You have the I don't know, the straight sword. You have the your ultra great sword, your flamberg. You have the same weapons in each game, but then again, they did add a lot of fun, unique ones. Like for example, the Abyss Watcher greatsword with its crazy attack patterns. Like you feel like some anime character, and it's fun to use it. And yeah, it's really fun to use it. And I, for example, did use it because I like to play something with an ultra great sword of or great sword at least. And armors too. Armors were fun too to use. You of course had your Harvest armor, you had your Abyss Watcher armor set, you had all these different armor sets that you can combine again to get something incredible out of it. Like Fashion Souls is a thing, and it really thrived with Dark Souls 3. Yeah, and of course the DLCs expanded like crazy on these two again. Like what weapons and armor you can get, like the ringed armor set that you get from the Ringed City DLC. Just looks amazing. So you will find one armor set and a weapon that's for you that you won't want to put away. And that's very important because some other games didn't make it for me at least like that, didn't do it for me like that, like Elden Ring. But yeah. And of course the game had a lot of diversity from the gameplay aspect of it, or from the world on its own. Like for example, you have when you are in the cathedral, you get attacked by this um, worm monster thingy, abomination, and then you get worms all over you and they eat at you. But there's an easy solution to fight against that. You just take your torch out and they die off, and that monster is also susceptible to fire damage like crazy. It really screams and twists and when you attack it with fire. So it's actually you either fight normally against it or you know about its secret um, weakness. And they did a lot of that in the game, like the 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 black goo thingy that pops out now and then of some enemies, like the zombies in the castle, like the undead in the castle. They are too suspect. Jesus Christ, weak. They are also weak to fire, and you can abuse that. And yeah, it's really fun. Also, like rope bombs. You don't just have normal fire bombs, you have fire bombs on a rope. And you might say now, why is there a difference, or why is that so incredible? I think it's more for a PvP aspect of it. Like if you do PvP and you run away, the enemy will chase you. And a rope bomb you can use while running, and you throw it behind you. So basically, it's a fun item to use in PvP to screw with your enemy. And yeah, I think that's cool that they did that, that they added that. Of course, they added respec, the possibility to respec too, which is very important for me at least, because let's face it, you play the game, you play like 10 hours of it, you have your set, you have your weapon, and then you find a new one. Like for me it was the Abyss Watchers. I beat I beat the Abyss Watchers, get the weapon, and I don't have enough dexterity to use it, for example. And what do you do now? well, you can level up and skill the dexterity, or you can respec. But you can only respec about half into the game. You get the ability to do it, and it's limited with each playthrough,
Farewell, Ame.
which is fine. I really don't like the limiting part because, yeah, if you play a lot of Souls, if you play a lot of PvP, for example, you won't play through the game that much. Like, you will do it maybe once, twice, or thrice, sure, but at the end of the day, you're focusing more on PvP, for example, and yeah, on PvP, and you will want to change up your fighting style after, I don't know, 10 hours also, or even 2 hours of PvPing. Yeah, like maybe you want to try some, I don't know, some fun katana build, or you wanna use a mix of melee and faith build. And how do you do that? Of course, you can, like I said, level up, but if you level up, you might get into a PvP range that you do not want to get into, because first of all, it's maybe harder to find enemies, and second of all, it takes some time. It's not that easy to just level. Maybe you need to go and farm, and who really likes to grind like 2 hours the same 5 enemies over and over again. So yeah, respecting is of course an incredible addition. It's a very good addition. They did do it in two Dark Souls 2 2, I think. But yeah, and talking about multiplayer, they change up the summoning colors. Like, if you are a red phantom, of course you got you if you want to do PvP, you get the red summoning sign. If you are of the um of if you are normal summon, you get the white one. If you are Mound Maker, which is the crazy one that can help the host but also kill him, and you don't know what they want from you, they are purple. And yeah, that's great. Also, there are like fun areas to do PvP, like after Pontiff. After the Pontiff is a very popular PvP area because it's just a big balcony. It's round. It's perfect. You have some stairs where some people can sit on and watch the others fight. It's great. And of course you have some um, fun places too, like the skeleton bridge, where you get to the skeleton boss, the one I don't can't remember his name. Where you got where you have to touch the goblet. Um, like if you wait there and they didn't do the boss, you can wait at the end of the bridge till they run, till they want to run across the bridge, hit the bridge as a phantom, as the invader, and the bridge will break down, and they will fall into their death. It's really fun. They really did a great job. It's very good PvP. It's rather balanced. Of course, some things are OP because you can't have. It's incredible hard to perfectly balance everything. But yeah, and of course the DLCs, like I said before, they added a lot of good stuff like enemies, like like media or um, I don't know, like the champion with his move and so on. Yeah, all in all, Dark Souls 3 was amazing game, really did. Again, From Software did a lot of things very good, very right, very well. And it shows. The only real negative, the only thing that I didn't like was that they kinda ruined Poise. Because, yeah, it's kinda non-existent. It's there, but if you can get staggered while wearing Havel's armor from a simple straight sword. And that doesn't make sense to me, like one strike, dude. Even a second shouldn't stagger me. I mean, it's Havel's armor, it's the heaviest, biggest armor in the game. I don't know. But all in all, it was an incredible, amazing game and I really liked it, really loved it. So yeah, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the game, you enjoyed the review, the talk, and have a nice day.